The Age of Enlightenment. It is a strong philosophical and intellectual movement across 18th century Europe. First, application of logic. Second, reasoning. Third, critical sense of inquiry into any phenomena and to accept facts only those which could be verified on these yardsticks. Philosophies: Pierre Bayle, Dutch philosopher; Vico, Italy; Baruch Spinoza, Holland; Hume; Mary Estelle, English, first feminist philosopher; John Locke, English; Rousseau, Voltaire, Montesquieu, France. Philosophers: group of French philosophers. Montesquieu was active member of this group. Montesquieu's work: The Persian Letters in 1721. Evaluation of contemporary French society. Spirit of law. Emphasis on new concepts like liberty, separation of political powers, and application of uniform laws. These were the two works, The Persian Letters and The Spirit of Laws by Montesquieu. Then Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Its work is Social Contract in 1762. It propagates the theory of general will. Man is born free, but today he is everywhere in the chains. Okay. Indictment of absolute monarchy. The governed should decide how the government should rule and not the vice versa. Every man born is free, but some part of liberty to given to ruler. Features: unlike the 17th century Western philosophers who somehow believed that the survival period of world is very limited, therefore their writings exhibited reliance on destiny. The 18th century philosophers were optimistic and kept themselves occupied in promulgation of theories in history, polity, economy, philosophy, and science, which could have universal applications. Second, they attempted to move beyond Eurocentric history and to reconstruct the world history, including the ancient contemporary civilization of non-European countries too, including India, China, and Islamic kingdoms. Third, while the previous century writers kept on writing dynastic histories and the history of the church, the emphasis in the 18th century was more on social and cultural history. Fourth, emphasis to understand the natural world through the principles and theories of natural science, and here the role model was Newton. Some radical philosophers like Pierre, Mabel, Helvetius, Moget advocated exclusively for the maximum possible growth of individualism. What is the impact of Enlightenment? Overall, this movement failed to percolate down to the lower strata of people, essentially going to two reasons. First is the complex themes and arguments proved to be incomprehensible for the larger strata of society, which was mostly semi-literate or illiterate. Although many volumes were published, but the prices of the books were so high so as to move altogether beyond the purchasing power of common people. Still, the impact of Age of Enlightenment could be seen in the state legislations in many European countries. Firstly, in many countries, there were provisions to try on charges of magic and superstitions. Such courts were banned across Europe. Second, the arbitrary process of power of inquisition courts sought to be curtailed, and the most common practice of burning alive an accused on blasphemy was banned after 1781. Third, physical torture to punishment or to force the accused to accept his crime was abolished in countries like Prussia, Sweden, Poland, and Italy between 1741 and 1789. The 18th century saw a strong anti-slavery movement, particularly in England. William Wilberforce was the leader, with the result that in 1774 the practice of slavery ended in England. In 1807 slave trade was banned in England, and by 1833 it was banned in British colonies as well.